Hello, today's episode of Arsenal Unfiltered is very, very different. No intro music. I'm going straight into this podcast episode because today is a very, very special day. Arsenal Unfiltered has turned 1. This time in 2024, I published my first ever episode, which is still the trailer, really, in some places for Arsenal Unfiltered. Arsenal Unfiltered episode 0, it was called, and I followed it up very, very quickly with an episode called How Do Arsenal Play Without Bukayo Saka? He'd just been injured, and I wanted to talk about how do we cope without Starboy. That episode got 9 downloads, and at the time I was all very, very excited, but we have grown so much since then, and it's been a year of podcasting. I've met some lovely people whilst I've been doing it. I've had some nice comments online as well, so that's been great. I've spoken to some wonderful people on Blue Sky as well, and have really enjoyed covering Arsenal over the last year. It's something I've kind of always loved doing, is talking about Arsenal, and now I have a forum to do it all the time. And like I say, have met people around the world to chat about Arsenal with. So that's been really, really special as part of the Arsenal Unfiltered journey. The reason I'm talking about Arsenal Unfiltered today is for the 1 year anniversary of Arsenal Unfiltered, I've decided to rebrand. So it's going to change. And the reason why Arsenal Unfiltered is going to change is because the 1 year anniversary had me reflecting on everything that's happened over the year and what I want to happen with the podcast moving forward. So let's start there. What I want to happen with the podcast moving forward is I want this to be our best content, the best content that I produce. And I think there are wonderful channels out there that really know the club. Inside Arsenal, Charles Watts is a wonderful example of a podcast that has tons of insight into Arsenal. You could even say Arsblog is another one where they have James McNicholas, people who have insight into the inner dealings of the club. I don't have those insights, unfortunately, like those guys do. There are also wonderful podcasts who have big ranges of guests like Arsenal Vision, or, can publish every day like the Chronicles of a Gooner. These are wonderful podcasts, and they do these things really, really well. And it made me think, well, what do I do very, very well? And at my heart, for all the extra reading I love to do about Arsenal, at my heart I'm an Arsenal fan who's watched many years of this Arsenal team, and have I've got all that experience of being a fan during the great times and then the kind of bleak times, and now back to these times. I kind of watch Arsenal with my heart on my sleeve, and I feel like I really understand the tactics, and based on what you guys like to listen to, it seems like that is the best content that I produce, is the match stuff, the stuff about the actual football that goes on the pitch. And you might have noticed a trend recently in some of the content that I've been doing. There has been a lot more focus on the match previews, the match reviews, and the instant reactions as well that we brought in a couple of months ago when we can do them, because I love the football, and actually sometimes the politics on the other side and maybe some of the content around football is something that I'm not super keen on, and I've been doing perhaps to fill gaps in the scheduling. So that's number one thing. I think my best content is about the matches, so we're going to bring far more match focused stuff to you, and that's going to be the focus of this channel moving forward. Less filler stuff and more of the stuff that you guys seem to love based on the download numbers. Just frankly, you guys who are listening seem to listen a lot more to the match stuff, so I'm going to be doing more focus on that. Because of that, I want to tell people exactly what this channel's about. Arsenal Unfiltered came from, I wanted to take the media filters off of a lot of the chat around Arsenal. But again, a lot of those media filters are on our games, are on our football. And I was, I think I wanted to go in and take those off around Arsenal football, because I felt like people who didn't watch Arsenal regularly were having the biggest voices about Arsenal. I didn't want that to be the case. So Unfiltered is great for that, but I want to tell people a little bit more about what we do here at the channel. And for that reason, Arsenal Unfiltered is going to become the Arsenal match reaction show, which I'm really excited about. From a podcast point of view, I think it will just tell people more about what we do and be a little bit more specific, so that when people see the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, they will know what's going on. But for you guys who listen regularly, you will have a far clearer identity associated with this podcast about why you're coming back to listen to more episodes, because we talk about the matches, we talk about the football, and we keep everything focused on the football here. So there's lots and lots of reasons why I'm doing that. As well, I want to do a little bit more video stuff, so that hopefully will be coming soon, guys. I probably need to purchase some technology and some equipment, which I'm going to be looking at doing in the next coming weeks. So we're going to be transitioning towards a more video-focused podcast. You'll see us on YouTube a lot more. You'll see, I don't know why I keep saying us. It's me. It's a one-man band. You'll see me on YouTube a lot more, and hopefully I'll figure out how to get it onto the Spotify video and stuff like that. So wherever you're watching, you can see a little bit of the video, just a bit more engaging for everyone. And my main mission is to give Arsenal fans, as many Arsenal fans as possible, a really good kind of fan reaction to the games, a fan coverage of the games, so that the loudest voices are people who watch Arsenal all the time, like myself, who've watched many, many years of the club and know how it's been from Arsene Wenger to Unai Emery to interim Freddie Ljungberg and all the way to Mikel Arteta now. So that's what I will be bringing to you guys via video, hopefully really, really soon. So I'm putting this out on the 13th of October, the 1 year birthday of Arsenal Unfiltered. It won't change immediately. I will change the branding and everything probably Thursday before releasing a podcast on Friday. So it's all very, very exciting. But I wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to listen to this before you saw everything change in your podcast apps or on YouTube, wherever you choose to listen. So Arsenal Unfiltered will become the Arsenal Match Reaction Show, to tell people what it's about, to make sure I'm producing more of the best content that I do, and to make sure that the ultimate mission of the podcast is honoured, about giving Arsenal fans the biggest voice about their club. And that's what I intend to continue doing. If you are kind of semi-new here, or you've listened to tons of episodes, maybe you've listened to every episode, I don't know, I don't see those stats, unfortunately. Thank you so much for being here through what was a great year, a year I've really enjoyed, and I'm really excited for this new chapter as Arsenal Unfiltered becomes the Arsenal Match Reaction Show. All that's left to say, guys, is thank you for following, thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you with a new name and a new brand very, very soon.